My prison experience changed my whole Afrocentrism. I came out of prison. I was very disappointed in men. And when I came out of prison, I said to myself, I'm only messing with women from now on. And then they showed me like they ain't shit neither. So now I was just disappointed in humanity. And that's how the blood shit even got popular on the island. You know not to run up on SA over there because he's fucking Mexican mafia and every Spanish nigga in this place will jump on your ass if you do.
Can I say another one?
Yo, I want to talk to y'all about something. I'm talking to you niggas about niggas being fucking cowards and shit. Now I know a lot of gangster niggas be like, fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
We kill each other, nigga. You're not the niggas oppressing us.
Right.
So I say, man, the guns.
Right. The guns, nigga. Let's go.
What's the deal, everybody? What's up? Welcome
What's
to the
going
Father,
on?
the Son, and the Trolly Ghost, baby.
We trolling. We trolling.
Trolling niggas.
Trolling.
I'm your
I'm
host.
trolling you.
Hey, yeah, we gonna get you. I'm Heru the first son.
It's Nyriq.
And yeah, today's episode is it's a little heavy, but a little light too. But we're gonna talk about the connection between fathers and kingship. And then also, I'm going to elaborate a little more for those who may have been on this about this. What I said earlier about the death of the king, the culture, this death of the king culture that we in right now, and show you how it is exactly how you can see the butterfly effects of it.
Facts, yeah. I remember we spoke about that. That was I like that conversation a lot because I feel like it's exactly like it's the very dynamic that is plaguing relationships. You know what I'm saying? We see it in pop culture all the time. Niggas don't recognize it, but I definitely think it's a big key factor for why people relationships aren't going far or whatever.
Yeah. It's a very big factor. This because fathers just generally, especially the children, and then just generally in society, they represent order, y'all. They represent discipline. They represent having rules and boundaries, right? and limits and shit you can't do without what consequence, which is actually what real life is all about, right? But with fathers, they bring controlled consequences in real time, rapidly, which helps keep people in line and not because what happens when you don't have these boundaries, right, is that people go out and do whatever they want. And the thing about life that a lot of y'all don't understand is, there's a lot of ways to be eaten, I guess. I don't know how to say it different. Like, not all your consequences aren't always immediate, but when they're delayed, when they finally drop on you, it's disaster and destruction and a catastrophe. And if you ask, you know, if you ask what, listen to somebody or follow some kind of directions or observe some kind of boundaries, which if daddies were around, they would be there for people to not be experiencing these catastrophes in their motherfucking lives because they used to having authority, right? So,
I think that's key right there. I think that was a key sentence, right? Emphasize used to having authority, right? You have to be used to already having somebody's foot on your neck. So that when it happens, you act appropriately. Cause like, as an example, not every time black people encounter a cop, it would if you act appropriately, it won't always jump to what we always see it jump to, you know.
Oh,
And there's a
big
lot of
shit you
cases,
saying there.
right?
Go ahead.
It's a lot of cases where I've seen black men, black women, whatever, they get in altercations with officers and they're over, they're just
Absolutely
super aggressive.
unreasonable. Absolutely unreasonable. Yes, I'm saying it. I've seen plenty where they are absolutely unreasonable, and the shit go where it's gonna go. Cause it ain't but so long you gonna antagonize this white man with a gun, right? Before he decide to use it on your bitch ass, right? So, and
Yep.
that's in their favor, right? But
It's in their favor.
it's just reality. And I talk strongly against when they cross lines. But yeah, nigga, like you got to
Yeah,
know
we
when
just
you
did it about Rodney Hinton. Just to throw that out there. We just did it about Rodney Hinton. So go ahead.
exactly. I talk strongly about when they cross lines. Don't and niggas who've heard me talk about it know that. But at the same time, it's like I seen niggas just manifest the ass whooping.
Hey man,
Hey, manifest that shit, bitch. Yeah, y'all got to know when you holding the handle of a sword and when you holding the blade and what that saying means.
Facts. Factuals, man. People gotta definitely become
And that-
more aware of leverage, right? That's one of the things we talked about, leverage. You know what I'm saying?
And power dynamics. So boom, going back to a very important statement that you emphasized was used to having authority. Are you used to or dealing with or interacting with something that is fucking greater than you? Something that can fuck you up in an instant.
That's
Are you
greater.
used to or have you ever experienced being in a relationship with something like that, but a loving relationship with something like that? Right? Because that's a very nuanced zone. It's interesting, and it's really easy to get things confused in there. That's what fathers help motherfuckers with, okay? Having a relationship, a loving relationship with something that could kill you in an instant if it felt like it, okay? And there are some rules to doing that. People.
Facts.
There are some common sense rules, right? To dealing with an entity that has that much of an advantage over you physically or in any other way, right?
This was a live podcast. We let some of y'all give some examples, but
I mean, seriously.
Because I would like to know where the people mind at on these common sense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take a consensus of just observation, niggas don't look like they understand how they supposed to act when
No.
interacting with such a being.
Right. And then for those of you who actually have a brain, you might have caught the bigger theme behind that. Because if you can't even interact with a being that has a direct physical threat over you, right, in a proper manner to not get your ass beat, and y'all niggas talk about you believe in God, you're not even capable. You're not even capable. You might be capable of believing in him. I don't even know if that's possible in that state of mind, because you
Right.
can't even process the
Respect it.
concept of a superior being, of something that is superior to you. And herein is where we get into this kingship and fatherhood connection. Because there ain't no kings no more, because you niggas hate anything that you think is a superior being to you. Because you're a bunch of immature children.
Say it for the people in the back.
So now you don't see no kings. And they hate dictators, and we want democracy, which,
We spoke about why that might be stupid.
You know, we can argue about that one. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, trusting hundreds, thousands of people to govern you, you know, without something at the top where the buck strongly stops. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Right.
this shit is demo crazy. Like, African niggas, they be calling it demo crazy. They damn right. This shit, y'all don't know what the fuck is going on in your government because this shit, there's a million different niggas plotting and scheming that have power, that you've given a little bit of power. Not too much to make you uncomfortable, you know, but just enough to, you know, make you feel like things are fair, like life is fair. And then, so anyway, that shit, right? So getting back to the household, and now because there ain't no kings, right? Because people hate authority so much, there ain't no father. Niggas, you know, fathers be the first target.
There you go. After, so it's like, because you know we talk about we in democracy. After niggas had kingdoms and all of that was taken and was wiped away because of the lords and the people, right? The lords tricked the people into revolting, and then they took the king and took his head out. Now we got fathers representing, you know, that figure in the household, right? You know, a father would be the closest thing to a king in this day and age. You know, each father is a king of their own house, as the saying is said. But ain't no damn fathers, because niggas can't respect the king. So, and I just wanted to say that, because that's
Shit,
pattern.
ain't no kids. It's all they say. What they say? Yeah, because I seen you saw this article earlier. The women, single women own more
Oh
houses.
yeah, that shit was funny. That shit was funny. That nigga said so. Yeah. But yeah, single mothers own more houses than single fathers. But that's because there's more single mothers anyway than single men. Like there's more single women than there is single men. So there would always be more single.
I mean,
women.
he says real common sense shit there, but it's like it's a flex. It's like it's not a flex. Like there's more of you, first of all, which is one of the things that I mentioned. The mathematical equation that makes monogamy not possible for you bitches, and this is why you having such a problem in life. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't. Oh man, you know what? I had this other thought too, right? I had this other thought, and it's related, but maybe not directly on subject. But you know, it just came to me recently. You know, I have these thought paradigms to help understand certain shit, and it's like, you know how these bitches be out here like, I'm not fixing no broken man. I can't fix no broken man, or I won't fix no broken man and shit, right? It's like everybody would probably say like, you know, we at war. Right, as a people, we've been at war, whatever, them Afrocentric, fake Afrocentric bitches, we at war, and the white people always on da. You know what women used to do when men went to war, if they were of the type that did that, medics, so on. You know what they do? They go on the battlefield and find broken men and drag them back to the infirmary. And fix them, bitch.
Oh,
that's their
put
job.
Them back together. they put them back together. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so maybe that's not such a fly thing to say, as a black woman that calling herself about the people. You see, and this is what, like, I'm good with all of you bitches that don't give a fuck about nothing that I'm saying with regard to blackness. Like, kudos to you, because you just living how you want to fucking live, right? Whatever. That's your right. That's between you and the Most High, right? I'm not talking to y'all. I am talking though to all of you fake ass talking about black issue ass bitches all the time, ass bitches, social justice warrior assholes, right? Who claim to be about something, but you in your relationships, you fucking Cruella DeVille, right? You know, how you could say all of this shit and know all of this shit and be in on this shit and all of that, and you so unwilling to let a man use you. And you say, oh, that's got a bad connotation, doesn't it? But
Oh, yeah.
use you, utilize you, make use of you. Um, I understand people's thinking about being used. Me,
Negative
personally,
connotation for use,
negative
manipulation.
connotation. I don't give a fuck about being used. No, I give a fuck about fair exchange. Because honestly, if I can't be used, that means I'm useless, right? That's actually not a fucking good thing, stupid. It's not. It's not a good thing
Yeah,
to be
go ahead.
useless.
Express to them what you told me real quick about what happens to useless things.
Yeah, it's not good to be useless. Because here's the thing: if you don't have purpose, right? Because purpose is is intimately tied to existence. Intimately tied to existence, and you know why I know this? Because I noticed that things that lose their purpose soon thereafter cease to exist. You don't see cassette tapes anymore. They lost their purpose. You don't see VHS tapes, Blockbuster Video no more. Why? It lost its purpose.
Bye bye.
Shall I go on? You know what I'm saying? There are still things right now that are fighting to continue and keep their purpose. And a lot of things, they don't make it. They
Yep.
don't got no purpose. Now you sitting around not wanting to be used by anybody and being all about yourself. See, here's the evil about that. Because getting back to the kingship shit, man's king of the castle, man's the king in his castle, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's the evil with these ice queens out here. You know what I'm saying? Bitches got it all, right? Whoop-de-doo, bitch. The thing about it though is y'all have some kind of thing. You can't stand men. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so you don't see when a man accumulates a lot of wealth and has a big house and shit, he tends to take care of people with it. He tends to let a bitch come stay with him, maybe two, who knows, depending on how y'all. You know, they have some kids and the kids stay there and they say, "Daddy, can I have this and can I have that?" And you know, he looks out for everybody according to what makes sense. And that's what men do when they have houses. When them old bitches have houses, here's the thing: they be big, 3-4 bedroom houses with just this bitch in there. She don't want to take care of nobody. But bitches hate taking care of men. You know what I'm saying? If she does happen to have some kids that she stole from some niggas that she does not want to include in the package with the kid, right? What's she gonna do? Them kids gonna grow up and they gonna move out. And then as soon as they get old enough, she ain't gonna want to take care of them no more neither, cause they don't listen no more, and she want control. That's what she all about, right? So you end up being a big waste of fucking space and flesh, honestly.
Yeah. To anything useful, but not to white corporate America. If y'all don't notice, one of the things my pop said was monogamy doesn't quite fit for what makes sense if you're talking like, you know, being dynamic wise. But if you look at it from a capitalistic standpoint, it makes a whole lot of sense. It makes even more sense.
Oh my God, them niggas is raking in the dough, boys. Getting the dough, raking in the dough, boys. They love it.
But I didn't want to take it too far off. I just wanted to bring that kernel into
No, that
understanding.
is, because that's a part of it too, because you need to be aware of how stupid you are and who profits off of your dumb ass and your ignorance. Okay, because the very people that you cry about all the time, Miss Social Justice Warrior, straight white men, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, bitch. Keep believing everything we tell you about how terrible that nigga is. Thank you, bitch. You are spending every dime of the community, and you are making us rich. We can pour $1 billion in there, and it'll come out $2 billion. Thank you, bitch. Because you take what they give you, and you manifest that shit, bitch. But you won't take nothing we give you and manifest it and give it the fuck back, so that we could do what the fuck we trying to do. Because you trying to do something else, but you don't even know what that is. All you know, it consists of having money and traveling and having a beautiful life and a glorious life. Well, how do you do that, bitch? Oh, betrayal, murder, lies, setting niggas up. Oh. Breaking vows and oaths that you shouldn't have even made in the first place. This is how you manifest that bitch. That's what niggas was saying. Shit. Yeah, they got all them houses. And this was in the comments because they divorced and they took them from niggas. And that too. You do a lot of fucking foul shit.
To get your slice of the pie.
And all to what end? So that you can be the queen. Because you won't accept the fact that a man has authority, right? You won't. You hate kings. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is the problem, the conundrum, and the paradox of Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? Because you bitches, niggas who be alpha men, who don't bow to nobody, even if it means they ain't gonna have $1 in their pocket. Niggas who don't bow to nobody, even if it means they won't have a window to throw it out, throw no piss out of. Niggas who don't bow to that shit is sexy to y'all. Especially when he's able to dominate in something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all can't leave him alone. So yeah, you see them niggas young, the young girls, they want the quote unquote bad boys. What are bad boys? They just niggas who ain't with all of this bullshit, or at least do a good job of looking like they ain't. You know what I'm saying? And that's who y'all go for, but you don't want to stay there. That's who you go for, but that's not who you want to show for. That's not who you want to goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Because then you get to fighting with the nigga, and then the relationship becomes abusive, right? Because he ain't bowing to you either, bitch, right? And so after you know, do that for a while, and you just refuse to submit to the fact that this nigga is not going to let you control him. That if anything's going to happen, he's going to control you, right? So you start calling him a narcissist. You start, you know what I'm saying, making up stories and fables about him being worse than he actually was to you. You know what I'm saying? You start telling one-sided stories where you say that this nigga punched you in your face, but you don't tell the nigga that you tried to fucking stab him right before he did that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah, because a lot more of what they be doing, they like to run the mouthpiece. You know, they'll
Absolutely.
You
It be
know
that. It be that
with their
more.
words.
Yeah, it be that more. You know what I'm saying? So you tell that too, because a lot of you believe that this is right. I had one chick, she just swore, you know, sticks and stones. That was her thing. You should never do. And I'm like, listen, what you don't understand, right, is that words add up. You know what I'm saying? They add up. And then number two, like, just shut up. Like, cause, you know, that shit, if you don't have, cause you can use that shit, but then there's also, if you don't have nothing nice to say, right? You don't say nothing at all, right? There's a lot of fucking sayings, right? And there's a lot of things that you, and there's a lot of things that you can say that'll just get your ass beat in any circle on the planet.
No matter where you at, you say that shit.
Certain shit, yeah, that's the reaction it triggers. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you can sit there and ignore that shit, because what I've noticed about women is that they like to use love as a way, like, familiarity breeds disrespect. That's what I've learned. Like, I don't let nobody get too familiar with me no more. because motherfuckers get to thinking because you in love, he'll never, and he's gonna, and same type of shit like all these bitches talking about Cassie husband like he's some kind of goddamn saint, right? That type of shit. Like, what? Love's supposed to make me stupid? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You should just be able to do anything to me, around me, behind my back, and because I love you, I'm just gonna let you
It's
go.
okay. It's okay. Yeah.
I mean, so well, to the king thing, all of this shit is like you bitches been you've dethroned the king of the family.
Yeah.
And that's the societal mentality. And then you see, because society had all the way to the Jesus story, all the way to the story of Jesus, you motherfuckers celebrate the death of a king and you call it a divine sacrifice.
Yeah.
Now,
Like one of the just to express that again or flesh that out. One of the things I remember hearing was like it was one of these like Illuminati videos way back, and they was just getting on the fact that like Christianity is the devil, da 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 da, that whole spiel. The idea though was that it was hitting on was Jesus died on the cross, right? Niggas wear the cross. Like they physically nailed him and impaled him to a cross, and he died on there. The example was if your grandma was beaten with a hammer, would you wear the hammer like to represent your grandma? You know what I'm saying? Shit don't make sense.
yeah, dead ass. And the thing about that shit, right, is that like you got to go all the way into this shit, cause this shit cause when you have the core story of the culture of your time, that shapes the mentality. Like your spiritual belief, that's like the core of your being. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else, your culture will come out of what you believe, like spiritually. And then from your culture, I mean, your language comes out of that. Your culture comes out of that. And then how your people operate in the world ends up coming out of that too. You understand what I'm saying? Now, look at the story. I mean, this man, first of all, the cross is not even special to this man. It was a Roman torture tool. They killed thousands, millions, who knows how many people.
He was up there
using
with
the
two
cross.
other people.
Yeah.
As the story says.
Yeah. And he was up there. They gave him a choice. You could have the murdering thief back, or you could have the king back. Which one you want us to pardon? Give us Barabbas.
The thief.
How does look at our culture and look at that story and look at the fucking the principles, the parallel principles that is up there. So boom, got niggas wearing a torture device on their fucking chest, the thing that the king was killed with, and say they was honoring the king. How stupid. Somebody got tricked, I'd say. All right, let's keep going.
It wasn't me
come
though.
on.
I don't got no Jesus piece on.
I can put myself in Jesus' shoes, look at y'all and be like, I'm not really pleased with what's going on right now. And then you got this homo nigga running around masquerading as me, Caesar Borgia.
Yeah.
And then look at that, the image. Put the image up. What does it say? Okay, everybody talks about he's white. Great. Fuck that. What else does it say? This long-haired, soft, tended features with the heart and all of this. Now listen, I know a lot of y'all think I'm blaspheming right now, but I need you to just put your belief down for just a second and pick up your brain. Critical thinking. Do these things kind of look like the culture that's going on? Like, And do you think they make sense? If you had been crucified on the cross and people claim to love and revere you, and let's just say for a minute it wasn't a pleasant experience and it may not have been what you wanted to happen. Let's just say that. Let's just imagine maybe he didn't want that, right? Do you fucking think that you would be pleased that your family was wearing crosses, my nigga?
Come on now.
Would you? I mean, even if you didn't take it personally, you'd be like, man, that's an interesting fashion choice, guys. Like,
Celebrating the death of the king. This is the theme. Y'all are celebrating it. Little do you know, every time you buy a Jesus piece, you bust it down, you celebrating the death of the king, man.
now you got diamonds in my fucking eyes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Nigga, eyes got that. He's sounding.
Hey, what are you
got
doing?
some
What are you
BVS
fucking doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? I'm just asking. Could you explain it to me? And then they explain it. They say it's a divine sacrifice. Okay. God so loved the world that he sacrificed his only son.
You ain't
Okay.
listen to the story because I don't remember God was mad at first.
I mean, let's remember that God wiped all of you niggas out with a flood once before, right? Let's just remember that part, right? So obviously love isn't completely tender, right? You think, and the reason why I bring this up is because y'all have that belief, especially women, because women are the main, they
Progenitors.
push, yeah, they love Jesus more than anybody. Black women love Jesus, right? Or
Love her some Jesus.
they start now they starting to love spirits and things that they can't even really have a name or put their finger on. Dangerous ground, ladies. But yeah, so because you had this belief of, man, this feminized belief of manhood that just don't have no power
right, the whole
but
story,
everything to
Jesus-
give, including
least-
his life.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
He just got everything to give. He can't even defend his life. No, Jesus went down just like a lamb to the slaughter. So a nigga don't even have a right, because of your belief system and how it's set up around that story. Niggas don't even have the right to defend themselves. Nigga is wrong the minute violence occurs. It doesn't matter what the story was behind it. You just wrong. Do you like, and y'all, one minute you talking about this and the next minute you talking about people using religion to control this shit. How? Like, at some point you got to get into the mechanics to fix it and undo it, bitch. Yeah, you be thinking nigga is supposed to be suckers.
Facts. It's in you. It's all in. If you didn't catch it, it's in your ideology. It's in the core of your belief system. That's why you can't abide by a man who ain't on that bitch shit.
Right. You cannot deal with a man who is masculine, has hard boundaries, and is like, no, bitch, and still like this nigga. I mean, a lot of you do, but in this sick. What? Go ahead.
If I may also, I was gonna also say though, they can't like submit to a man that it was all those qualities that you just gave. But then again, right after they try sorts of a Caesar for a little bit, they get the little tender nigga. Their natural way of being rejects him as well. So they're in a constant.
Exactly. You in a constant negative feedback loop, because the nigga of your dreams is the nigga of your nightmares, and the nigga of your nightmares is the nigga of your dreams. So you just can't be fucking happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't respect the soft nigga that's going to treat you like you like, if you could write a book on what a man is supposed to be, if we manufactured a nigga that had every one of those qualities, you disrespect that nigga within 5 years. You fuck on him, you do all kind of shit. Some of you immediately, right?
Some of you are right then and there.
And because of that, you don't like him right? That in fact, you don't like him. You're doing this shit, and the more you do it, the less you like him. So eventually, that shit breaks, right? And then the niggas that you out there fucking, you can't stay disciplined under this program long enough, and then you just find reasons and ways to destroy them. And you do that especially after you've stolen his seed, because that's what a lot of you bitches is out here doing, stealing niggas' seed. Okay? You stealing niggas' seed. You like the, and this is Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why you all you soft niggas in corporate America who don't understand why these bitches act the way they do, this is why. They still animals. They looking for the best DNA stock to fucking reproduce with, nigga. They looking for you to just take care of the babies and them and make sure they make it where they supposed to make it. You the soft ride. Me, I'm the stock. I'm the nigga they had on the breeding farm back in the breeding plantation.
Because the whole, red pill, tender dick boy narrative is, Pookie gets all the bad bitches, and then the bad bitches get all out of whack and out of shape and come to the soft niggas. So, they get their stock and then they go for the soft ride.
That's exactly what they do, because I've been both in my time, so I know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? I was the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I still remember that shit. Even with all this pedophilia shit, it's like I take that shit with a grain of salt too, because a lot of you bitches is more creeps than niggas, and you just ain't been exposed. Like, I distinctly remember being 15 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, and all the baddest bitches in high school, they wasn't available to me. Not because I wasn't a fly nigga in high school, but because them bitches was fucking niggas who I couldn't compete with. They were old. Yeah, just like you be, old nigga Shannon Sharp, get you or you bitch your age. No, because you bitches like older niggas, like the high school bitches, they was fast. They was always motherfucking going off with a college nigga. Nigga had a car or whatever.
Right.
That's who's picking these bitches up from school. Grown-ass men in front of the school picking up bitches.
They fuck around and go, they'll go 4 deep with one nigga. I remember in school, they go 4 deep, one nigga and skip it. Rest of the class, rest of the period.
Gone. Getting your backs blowed out. You won't give none of the little boys your age a chance, but now you want niggas to get bitches their age. This is how evolution balances it out on your ass. When y'all are young, yeah, you can fuck with older niggas. When niggas get older, we can fuck with younger niggas. And now y'all want to be cougars and shit. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But all of this shit, listen, dude, I'm not against none of it, but stop with the lies and the disrespect of black men. And you like, well, you disrespect us. Yeah, because I'm a man. I'm your authority. You're not mine.
That answer right there may have to be emphasized, but because they can't accept that.
You can't accept that as a woman for some reason, and that's why your femininity fails. Because you won't accept the man as your authority, because the feminine has to bow to the masculine, and then the masculine can bow to the feminine. It don't go the other way around, and it got to be reciprocity. Bitch, you want me to die for you? You better live for me, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Come on now. It only take one way to die, so... Anyway,
let's look at some of these examples of this dynamic that we talking about right now. I'm gonna turn my light on because I'm losing daylight.
Yeah, it's getting dark over there. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't want to disappear and shit.
Not that one. We gonna start off with Remy. Let's just get her out the way real quick.
Yeah, let's see what this is. Cause she trying to defend what happened with her and Pap, and I'm like, this got to be interesting.
Got to be.
That a regular
Hold on, let's just go ahead.
That a regular that can rap, but just not the way we do it. By the way, he makes $50,000 per battle. Has about 5-6 battles a year, so he makes at least $250,000 a year. You understand? Great credit score. I never seen a person with a credit score like this in my life. Like the richest people that I've been around. But anyway, unlike some people who beg me to add their name to one of my properties and I have a fucking lien on it because they don't pay their taxes. He couldn't fathom why him. So why he's sitting there, she was saying, why Hitman, why Goods? Why are you fucking lying? Why are you lying? You was devastated that a regular that used to work for sanitation, got a pension plan, got a 401k, that happens to rap, was able to calm your manipulation, was able to treat me nice.
Wait, what she was about to say?
Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids. None of that. None of that.
Okay.
And then...
Yeah, I just knew it was nothing but horseshit after that, but yeah.
I mean, nah, what she said was significant to me. That's why I wanted you to let that play, because for the cameras.
Okay.
A lot of you bitches get into these black love, watching these motherfuckers on TV thinking that this shit is real because you live in a fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? And you have no idea what love is about. You have no idea what a relationship is about. You know what I'm saying? So you fall into these candy-coated narratives, and then look, shit, niggas was faking for the camera. Look at that.
Facts. Like, issue that I have through my experiences, it just seems like women want this cookie-cutter Instagram lifestyle with their man, where y'all somehow got the time to do everything that is required while also have the time to be on Instagram showing off your paired outfits and all this bullshit that,
Frivolous
comparison
life.
is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is a thief of joy. And life ain't about frivolous shit, too, ladies. I hate to tell you that, but life is
Very
real.
serious.
Life
I
is
get
real.
asked a lot, why are you so serious? Because life is serious. Like, I gotta be out here doing serious shit. Math is pretty serious.
Right, what you talking about? If there ain't no dough in here, then there ain't gonna be no bread to eat. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, life is serious. And then y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I learned about women is they don't believe in their own bullshit. They want you to believe that shit, but they don't believe that shit. Because the minute they don't believe in everlasting love and dying old together, because the minute something gets rough, what do? Do it practical. Monkey branch. You jump off a sinking boat and you jump on one that's floating, right, bitch? So stop trying to get us to act like we don't fucking got no sense. Like if I let you sink my ship, you ain't gonna do nothing but jump onto the next available fucking life raft, boat, anything that's floating. But you're not going down with me. Right? And let's just be honest. And I don't expect you to, but hey, as a result of that, you better respect my motherfucking boundaries. Because, so getting back to Pap, right? Because that's the thing. Like, this nigga, love Pap as an MC, man. But
All right, what happened with his situation?
as
Why does
a
it
man,
fit this theme?
as a man, all of that soft touch shit with ladies, man, I don't advise niggas to get, cause look at how Pap comes out looking in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right,
then she got the nerve to be like the nigga was faking for cameras, and I know for a fact it's pretty much documented that nigga was up there. She said it even herself. Like when she is doing her bid, that nigga was up there so much she had to tell him, hey, you know what I'm saying? Back off a little bit. Like, so.
Which is funny because that's exactly what he did. He put his career down because at the time he was going crazy. He had the I think he had the ABC joint going and everything. Like
Neglected his career.
Right, he neglected his career just so that she can help her with her bid. He became her helpmate just for her to.
And you know what?
Cold.
I try, I always, for good niggas, I try to give him the benefit. I could see how maybe he was doing that almost like as a sacrifice, like to be a representative of this thing that he was trying to push on, on to the people, like black love, right?
Black
Maybe
love,
he was
facts.
making this type of sacrifice for that. I don't know. And if so, I can kind of respect it, at least from the standpoint of somebody who was used to think like he thought or thinks, because I can see he's still on that shit. And I wish or hope, I hope and wish that he learned his lesson. But these ladies, man, because we are dealing with this culture of the death of the king, like they don't respect niggas' authority. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say we got some more. We got a little bit more evidence, right? Just to prove death of the king, right? Like what do we mean by this? You know what I'm saying? Just to help quantify for you folks. This is what death of the king looks like without kings, right? Because we don't have kings no more. So every man is a kingdom of their household. If you look here, it seems like Asians pretty much respect their men, their kings. You know what I'm saying? 8% single mothers, white. We got black here at 47%.
47% of black.
As Dr.
women.
T would say, you niggas should be ashamed.
Yeah, man. I mean, and this is by choice, and they out here stealing seed. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. So now, look at how this shit. Let me just go into one thing about how that affects the culture, because women refuse to respect authority, which is men, right? Mm-hmm. You can see that I'm not lying about even the principle that a man is authority over woman, because what happens, they teach the kids through their behavior not to respect authority. Because for an infant, their father is their first natural source of authority. And you rob them of that. And you have to understand, it doesn't matter what your opinion of that man is. This child and that man have a bond that's above and beyond your opinion. So that child responds to that man particularly as his authority or her authority until you destroy him in their head.
Right.
Through your behavior, and you destroy the concept of authority. Little do you know, by destroying their relationship of authority between them and the father. So now, what you get is a bunch of niggas, and this has been happening over generations. So a lot of you people that are my age that I'm talking to have experienced this and have the same fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? You don't respect authority. This is why a bitch will argue with me to the point where, you either have to walk away from the argument or it has to go to the physical level. You know what I'm saying? Because she can't accept your authority, so she's going to battle you tooth and nail, you know what I'm saying, for her own authority, right? And that's because she ain't used to having authority. She ain't have no father. That's why you see fatherless behavior, right? But here's the bigger problem with all of that. Because we're having that problem with authority, everybody wonders why we haven't had a leader since they killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Well, the reason is that right after that, y'all started destroying kids' view of authority, black authority specifically, their fathers, right? So now niggas don't respect each other enough for there to be and authority. A nigga could come along right now with every answer to every problem that we got as black people and tell y'all, I'm the king, let me be the king, I'll fix all this shit. And you niggas will look at him like, who the fuck is this nigga?
You might just
But
shoot him.
yeah, but you wanted Joe Biden in office as your president. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A lot of you, it's the only reason you don't like Trump. Trump doesn't even have a racist history like that. If anything, Trump fucked with black people as much as Trump possibly could fuck with black people and still remain Donald Trump throughout his history. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean I'm a fan of his policies or anything. I'm just saying that part of shit is bullshit. And the really reason that y'all don't like him is because he's a really masculine white dude as far as like how he engages with y'all in the public. Like he tell it like it is. He says shit that you ain't hardcore and you ain't used to just dealing with no fucking man in authority. You used to dealing with these.
Right. We've been effeminized and like, oh man, I almost got too personal. But yes, it plays out even when I interact with men in my day to day. You know, I might say something in regards like, you know, just checking in or checking up with them, and niggas get in their feelings about how it was said. Not what I'm saying, not the relationship on who I am to them. They get stuck on how I said it. Like if my relationship doesn't
Matter.
allow me to do that. Like my
Right.
where I am to you, what I am to you allows me to speak to you that way almost. But you know, anyway.
Yeah. Niggas be in their feelings and they think they get that shit from these women. You know, they don't know how to back down. Your mouth, you in your feeling. Everything offends you. You need to have an opinion about everything. You know what I'm saying?
And it needs to be heard. You can't just have your own opinion. It gotta be
Right.
heard.
You go and you deal with these cops, right? Getting back to the example that you told about these traffic stops, because y'all got to get wiser about this. You know, the first thing niggas know when they tell you is you have the right to remain silent. And that anything that you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Now, do you think yelling and carrying on is the best way to deal with them if you don't want to cooperate? Or do you think maybe just being silent might be, as they give you permission to do that? Clearly. Right? Life is strategy. And you don't learn that from women. You learn emotion. You know what I'm saying? You learn that you better be heard, and all of this. A lot of this American ideology is feminine as hell. I got to be heard, every voice. You know what I'm saying? Man, no, shut the fuck up. Some of you, a lot of you, shut up, because you're not saying nothing that's helping the discourse. You know, you don't. If you're not adding something substantive to the discourse, shut the fuck up. That's a good idea too. You know, if it's not your business, shut the fuck up. That's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things, yeah. Let's see what else you got.
Indeed.
Take us into some other angles of this shit.
Hold on real quick. Let's see here.
What benefit would I get for being a stepfather? Would a man be wrong for asking a woman that?
I think it's a loaded question because why are you asking me that? I feel like as a man, you should know what if you're coming into a relationship where there's children involved, I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask in terms of what's the benefit that I get for being a stepfather to your children. Like, that doesn't even sound right to me.
No?
Because I'm going to look at you like you're crazy.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you know that I have children, you should already start programming your mind to think, okay, I'm going to be around her children.
Okay.
My question is, why should I want you around? What benefits do we get from having you around? So that's what I would need to know. Like, what are my children going to see in you? What are my children going to learn from you? Okay. Those are the questions. So if you're saying what benefit do you have from being a stepfather to my children, I'm going to ask you, why are you even asking that question?
Okay. I'm not saying that.
No, that's ridiculous. All right, that nigga sitting there allowing her to say all that is ridiculous. But
I mean, no, I'm glad he let her sit there and throw that word salad out because in that word salad, right, it's so much, so much to, so much to unpack. Okay, so the first thing is obvious. She didn't answer the question, right? Because there was no answer, and this is what bitches do when there's not an answer because the shit doesn't make sense. They come up with a bunch of emotional word salad bullshit. Like, you didn't answer the question. And here's what she was trying to do. And what she was trying to do with her word salad, she did have a strategy, actually. But
Okay.
her strategy illustrates exactly what I mean when I said it's a butterfly effect of this story of this age. You know what I'm saying? The Christ story.
Okay.
You know, this belief that a nigga is supposed to sacrifice himself passively, peacefully, and die for you for no fucking reason.
Facts.
What do you mean? That's a stupid question, or why are you asking me that question? It's a valid question. It's same thing as this, what do you bring to the table, and bitch get fucking offended. Why? Because you don't have anything to bring to the table. You're a burden only. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as a burden, you ain't about to be a goddamn bum bitch telling me what to do all the day. You about to be over here because I fuck with you, I like you, and I like your kids, and you gonna shut the fuck up and do what I tell you to do, all of you. Because you depend on me and not your daddy. And that was her choice. You know what I'm saying? So the fuck you mean? Where is the respect for what I provide? You know what I'm saying? Yes, what do I get out of this? And another thing, the stepfather thing. Again, what did I tell you the children were in the Bible? How were they referred to?
They are referred to as arrows in a quiver. You know what I'm saying?
Arrows in a man's quiver, right? For you slow ones, let me help you understand what that means. Okay, because you women be robbing niggas of something very, very, very important and then lying about it and saying niggas didn't want it when really you just made the whole situation untenable with your hostility. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, niggas are actually more emotionally intelligent than you, and they know that, I can't sit here and fight with this child's mother forever and not, this child don't be damaged by it. Let me step off. Right? But arrows in a man's quiver. And this is why we can't get nothing done as a people. Because
no unity. Remember, they always say no unity.
No unity and no progress. Really regret. I mean, y'all niggas done had to start progressing individually because that's all there is left. There's no cause and no struggle. Nothing we can do, nothing we are doing collectively that's having a outsized impact on this planet. And the reason why is because you bitches are stealing men's ammunition. Our children are our long-term, long-range missiles, okay? We send them beyond our life to accomplish goals that we planned out already, and they go and do it. And as they go in the direction that we shoot them, they evolve this shit and develop the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And this is why we can't get long-term plans and projects and a paradigm shift and shit done in our community.
If I may say, just to help visualize that, right? How do we have the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs? How do these families exist? Does anybody want to sit and use their noodle for a second? You know, their women sat down long enough for the men to use their arrows, their children, shoot them where they wanted them to go. And these niggas dominated in industries across the globe. These industries, then they came together and they built something. You know, so it can really just be one family it starts with. Just one.
Just one. Y'all just leave one intelligent, strong, backbone, principled nigga with his kids for fucking once, right? Maybe something big would happen.
Maybe we get an
A nigga
Ibrahim in
who-
America.
Yeah, a nigga who's not slobbering at the mouth to suck some white man's dick for some job or some shit, like this corporate shit. Like, I don't fuck with none of that. Like, that's not taking us nowhere. All of that individual accomplishment in some companies with agendas that's not ours, companies with agendas that are expressly anti-black, full of black people. And you niggas don't fucking see none of this shit. So, you know, and then a lot, and so you complaining about the men, and we all know it's been said over and over. Like the men, the women produce the men. Yeah, niggas is shitty right now and gay and feminine because they've been getting stolen from our mothers from our fathers for fucking, from our fathers by our mothers for a couple generations now.
This shit like 5 generations.
Like
minimum.
5 fucking generations now. Y'all been
Minimum.
doing this shit, and you don't care. You know, and honestly, it's like I can't even really be talking to the women because they don't care. They don't listen. They don't give a fuck about nothing but comfort and luxury. And so you got to start talking to the men because we have to put some, you know,
intent with our seed.
yeah, we got to put some discipline to ourselves. And honestly, by doing that, it's gonna have the same effect on them. Once we start sexually disciplining ourselves in certain ways, you know, that's going to put discipline on them. They're not going to be able to get what they want without conforming to behavior that is conducive to success of the community as a whole. Like, you got to start starving them out, like, because we really don't have another way, because we still up under this oppression, and they still holding the trigger to all the guns in their pockets. So, you know, the only, like, I've been seeing that now, instead of collectively trying to get it together as a people for black Americans, it's like black men have had to start going off on their own and trying to just advance themselves in the ways that, whatever ways, you know, their mind has been pushing them. And, you know, some of the women are doing the same, but y'all don't even understand what you represent. Like, without a man, that shit really don't mean nothing. And I know you like, well, what does that mean? I don't have no value without a man. Kind of. Because creation wasn't accomplished by one energy.
You got me going into the next video. You got
Go
me
ahead, go ahead.
I never got to show you this one. This one is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. So this one's gonna spring up on you, but you're gonna like this one. Hold on.
Okay.
Real world. That your office job is not real life. Here's another.
Do not need men to get bank accounts, houses. They have careers on their own.
No, you still rely on men. It's just indirect now. See, men have always been in between women and the real world. That your office job is not real life. Here's another depiction of that. Here's men going out to face danger and build things on the outside in order to create a safe space for women on the inside. This is how it's always been, and it still is. You just don't understand that because you're too comfortable. Men still do all the hard work. If all women stopped working right now, we'd be fine. If all men stopped working, everyone would die. And that is, again, because men make all the food and build all the houses and the walls, and they used to guard the border. I guess they gave up on that. Women have never done that and can't. Men still do all of the necessary things to create the space for you to have your girl bossing fun time. The way it works is that women are always really happy for men to do the hard, dangerous work until times are really good, until we build something better than this. And then you look around and you go, hey, men have more than us. No fair. You go to the government, which writes some laws for you, which makes you equal. And then you are disgusted by men who are equal to you. So without equality laws, it's very easy for women to find men they respect. And with equality laws, it's very difficult. And then everyone tells these men that they're worthless. And then they go, okay, well, I don't want to be this guy, so I'll just be this guy. And then they never grow up and they never do anything. And then you hate them even more. So your girl bossing crap is just not going to last very long because women cannot do what men do. You can't do that work of building the physical world. And what you're doing now is just sort of taking it away from men and having it for yourself without giving them anything back, which makes them go away. And then, like, imagine if you had to build a house. It's not going to happen. And then when men go away, then there is nothing in between you and bad stuff. So you might want to stop being so mouthy.
And there it is, folks.
Stop
Good
being so
breakdown.
mouthy.
It is a very good breakdown because, you know, y'all forget all of this shit is built by men. You know, and so for that reason alone, it doesn't matter how much money you got or what you've accomplished. That shit is like all of us is standing on the backs of our ancestors. You, as women specifically, you accomplished that by the off the backs of men. Like, you can't administrate shit that don't exist yet because it ain't been built. You know what I'm saying? You can't. And you know what he described there was something that I described, but it's the principle and it's different. I understand it now. It's like the thing that you men have to understand about what's going on in this day and age, and why, along with just that core story, the death of the king story, it blends quite well with what's actually the anthropological reasons for this shit. What's going on with women right now, and this is what it is, and it's really going on with women and children. What it is this: as men, first of all, God is ever wise and all knowing, and God put women in a situation, right, that would keep them under control, because He knew what they was. So in nature, there's danger. Lions, tigers, bears, oh my, spiders, you know, just shit women don't want to deal with and would love to have somebody more capable to deal with around. And that's what made them love men, right? Men were the heroes, right? All right. So what happens, men go out into the world and they're constantly thinking about how to make things safer for their kids and their women. Because everybody love each other, or so we thought back then.
So we thought.
Now we're beginning to understand, and it's okay for me. It's just I'm gonna look at it realistically, and nobody's gonna tell me no bullshit. You're not gonna piss on my head and tell me it's rain. So what it is that because we provided comfort and luxury, that's why we were loved. We were the heroes. You know what I'm saying? The heroes of their comfort, love, luxury, and most importantly, because it was a thing, safety. Now, the thing about it is that when men do their job well enough, when we do our job well enough, we eliminate all the threats to our women and children. Something terrible happens in the minds of our women and children. There's only one threat left. You.
God damn it. Fuck.
Yeah. Fucked up equation, but that's how it goes. You know what I mean? And it makes perfect sense. You know, because women and children aren't disciplined. You know, it's like God built. It was like if you had a pet that you loved a whole lot and you built this big enclosure for it. You know what I'm saying? This big enclosure just to keep it safe. Because what you know is that there's a whole lot of shit right outside that enclosure that'll eat that motherfucker alive, right?
Right.
And you got this pet and you love him and you keeping him in this enclosure, and this shit done been around the whole enclosure long enough, and now he knows it and it's bored and it's curious. What's behind this gate? Why is this motherfucker keeping me in this gate? He's oppressing me. Little do you know there's no difference between oppression and safety. Like being safe, security, excuse me. Security and oppression look very similar. Security and oppression are very similar unless you're wise enough to know the difference. And because women and children don't know what's on the other side of that fucking enclosure, they're finding out, but they don't know, and they still don't want to. It don't matter how many stories they hear, they don't want to believe that it's rough out there.
Right.
They want to keep bucking that shit and telling you, all right, open the fucking gate, because I'm not gonna keep fighting with you at home.
You know, it reminds me. I don't think we have enough viewership, but maybe one or the two couple people that do watch might know the show I'm about to refer. But it reminds me of the show called Silo on Apple TV that released not too long ago. It kind of deals with that similar concept.
Oh, because they was like underground or some shit, and they wanted to see what was going on.
What's outside? Yeah, and I don't want to spoil
They were
it too
arguing
much.
about going out and shit. It's dangerous out there.
If you finish the season that's out, you start to see the exact principle of what you just said. Like you'll start to see like the shit. Niggas want to go outside, don't believe the
Niggas
shit
wanna
fucked
go
up out
outside.
there.
You don't believe it. Like shit is out there, ready to eat, and you on the menu.
You're on
know
the
what I'm
menu.
saying?
You are on the platter.
Yeah.
You've been served actually.
And you don't want to listen to daddy no more. You don't want no king. You don't want to listen to nobody that's got your best interest in mind. And then y'all sit around and act like you Afrocentric and shit. You don't even see your brain lock. You can't hate every nigga that stand up and be strong and call him a narcissist and call him a misogynist and then expect to have leadership.
Yep.
You can't be so sensitive that you cannot be corrected. And if you are corrected, you turn into a berserker maniac, right? And then think that either we're going to advance as a people if we acquiesce to that shit, or that you ain't going to get your ass fucked up for that shit if niggas is very serious about moving forward. You have to behave yourself. You can't be out here bringing niggas into conflict with each other through emotional games so that we killing each other. And niggas, we have to stop dealing with them as if they innocent fucking angels and they need fuck having one bitch that you just worship. No, they have lost that privilege in this day and age.
Scott, don't. What is it you say? My ego, who I am as a person, is not wrapped up in what a bitch do with her ass.
Exactly. No,
every man
not
has
at
to
all.
walk with this principle right now.
You gotta walk like I see it. Like I don't give a fuck what a bitch do with her ass. My ego is not wrapped up in that shit. Bitch, if you go and find a nigga richer, stronger, whatever than me, hey, good luck, bitch. Good riddance. There's other bitches around that I'm fine, just fine for. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you got to stop having your heart wrapped up in these women. Yes, it's bros before hoes. And why is it like that? Number one, it's like that because men are more important to our present as a nation than women. Every individual man. Now, granted, because niggas is broken and people don't know how to fucking behave themselves, their value is constantly decreasing. But there's still nothing here more valuable than your brother, your next person next to you, especially if they on the same type of time as you on, right? Nothing more valuable. You niggas need to learn that. Y'all think things are more valuable than people.
I can second that. Being out here, being outside, man. Relationships are far more valuable than anything you think you can come across. You can find yourself on hard times, and a relationship it'll be what put you back in the game.
I'm telling you, keeping good relationships, respecting niggas, paying your debts, keeping your
Cleaning
word,
your face.
keeping your face clean out here in these streets. That shit'll go a long way for niggas, man. And it could go anywhere. Sometimes it just help you survive. Sometimes it'll make you a millionaire, nigga. It just depends on, roll of the dice. Like, God exists.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, because God exists. Like, you got to accept what he got for you.
Facts. We all having our own conversation, like my pop said. Just focus on your conversation. Don't focus on another nigga shit.
I told my son, I said, every one of us, our lives is our own Every one of our lives is our own personal conversation with God. And that wraps right into the idea that black man is God, everybody, God lives in you, and all of this other shit. Yeah, everybody you see, everybody you interacting with on this planet, everything, your whole life is your own personal conversation with God. And you need to respect it, and you need to keep your eye focused on and your mind focused on your conversation with God. It don't matter you see this next nigga over here rich. My conversation with him ain't my conversation with you. We having a conversation about being humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a conversation with him about being humbled. You know what I'm saying? It might be different. You know what I'm saying? His conversation, you know, you don't know what this nigga is going through.
That's facts.
And that money is not, it don't insulate you that much as a lot of you niggas think.
It does, yeah.
I mean, look at Puff, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of niggas, man, and not even him, like, yo, think about his kids even. Like, yeah, you got it hard and you got your problems. Maybe you think they got it easy compared to it, but you don't know how that shit hitting them little niggas. Next thing you know, that's why you see the little rich kid done killed his soul. You like, what? Why? Like, life is real for everybody, yo. So focus on your conversation with the Most High, and you'll make your life better and what it's supposed to be. Maybe not what you imagine it should in your wild dreams, but it'll be what it's supposed to be.
Thanks, right. I want to get into this last one before we wrap it up, just because I wanted to bring home the point, because a lot of people might not believe us when we say you motherfuckers is out here stealing babies. Yeah, that's the goal. So we got some evidence, we got some receipts here to show that this is what the modus operandi is. You know, they out here stealing our seed.
It's all about the kids, y'all. I learned that.
All right, so I'm going to read it because the brother here doesn't read it. But it says here, having a baby will quickly make you realize that you don't love a man. And you've actually never loved a man ever in your life. You feel that love between you and your baby in the hospital bed, and you're like, damn, my bad. Actually, I've never been in love before. That's the real tea on why so many couples break up after the baby comes.
Now that shit, she said she think that shit is fly. Like, oh, that baby worship shit. I gotta caution y'all. But this is that Black Widow spirit that I was talking about in the last one. You know,
that comes and it'll ruin your relationship just so that you walk away with the baby. Yeah, kidnapping, right? You spoke on how kidnapping was something that only women did.
Yeah, back in the day, that charge, the whole etymology of that charge, where it came from, that men didn't steal children like that back in the days. And that niggas wasn't as perverted as what's going on now. It'd be the rise of a lot of a sexual deviancy that's leading to what you see in the day. But back in the day, niggas didn't really give a fuck about no kids. They gave a fuck about their kid. You know what I'm saying? And kidnapping was a charge that was honestly originally crafted for women who steal men's children, which is what y'all do rampantly today.
What you just heard Leandra Lee Baker say she likes to do.
There you go.
You know we got
another one.
We got some more. We got some more here, right? Annie. I ain't gonna say their full name. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I told my baby daddy. Then told him my baby wasn't his. Then I blocked him. What the fuck? It's crazy.
You know what I'm talking about? This is the thread. Like, bitches doing this child worshiping. You love the child more than the man. And, you know, this folds into the whole argument about who eats first and all of this dumb shit that y'all been on, right? Worshiping children or putting children over men because you don't have no respect for men. And you destroying the dynamic of the family. Because what you don't understand is that a child has infinite potential, but no actual value. In fact, a negative value at the time that you're developing them. They can't even take care of themselves. So actual real world value, real time, right now, negative. And they may never make it out of childhood, right? That's also a risk, right?
Yep.
A man, though,
Right here, right now.
actual value right now. Now, you may not respect it, but he's alive and then don't nobody care about his ass because he's a man. So obviously he's able to take care of himself to some extent, and he has actual value. And if you're going to sit there and fuck a man, right, and then take his seed and then go forth and manifest it, I would have to say anything that you have to say about him not having value is null and void. So this is the spirit that you're dealing with these women right now. They baby thieves. They stealing your seed. They out here, so protect your seed. You know what I'm saying? Your milk is more valuable than you have been led to believe.
Very. Like we got,
and you'll figure it out when she's dragging your ass after the baby. Go ahead.
right to the court system. But we gotta. It seems like this is an older woman because she praises them. She says, "You young sisters are so fucking smart." My God. Yeah, your
Which
God
God?
specifically.
That is finally, what God is that?
Yeah, her God. That's not the one, not the God for sure. Right, I'm over here in the amen corner taking notes and passing the collection plate. The girls are gonna be all right. Oh man, Jesus.
Yeah, they are, but not the kids. And then that shit, all of that shit eats you. And that's what that spirit comes to do. Eat you slow. Like I said, it kill us fast. Tries to kill us fast, but it eats you slow.
I left two niggas after I had a child with them. LMAO. Now that I think about it, a baby is how I break up. Like, thank you for your service. You are now dismissed. Come on now. And then the original post woman says, you'll be like, oh, that's all that was. Jesus.
So now here's where the other bitches come in that's always trying to convince you that they different, right? And they say, oh, that's just them. And the thing about it is that, no, all of you display a level of that behavior. And I'm going to show you something real quick. And I'm going to tell them what I told you about how certain shit impacts family dynamics, right? All of you display that behavior because all of you believe that children are more women's than they are men. And that one kernel, that one belief, that belief that women have that children are more yours than they are ours, skews entire society against men. And that's the big problem with this age. Because back in the day and in most cultures on the planet, children were considered men's because the family was considered men and the woman was considered the man's. Right? So the children were considered his. Now we got this equality shit, but this closeness between the mother and the child. Like I learned mother and child, the woman and the kids, they're a package deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? You lose one, most likely you're going to lose the other. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. And if you want one, you got to take the other with it. You know what I'm saying? That's typically how it goes, right? So when they equalize women, and then women decide to go to war with men, emotional war, now the kids get ripped away from the father, right? And so, boom. Y'all believing that children are more yours than ours skews the entire society against us, and it starts right in the family. Because one thing that I notice is in my own family, and I notice it in everybody else's family, is that the family, if it's a matriarchal family, or if the patriarch is too woman-centric and hasn't learned the importance of masculinity and manhood, but mostly if this place is, if it's a matriarchal family like mine and like most people family, what happens is, like most families, most black, because most black families are matriarchal. What happens when y'all believe that the children are more yours than the men's is that all the little girls in the family who have children, all the cousins, the girls, Everybody cares about those kids, and those kids are taken into the family and kept it, and they're cared for and they're cherished. But the kids of the boys, nobody cares about because they see them. Yep, they see them as more the woman. If that boy in the family does not stay or hold on to that girl that he had the baby with, the family writes them kids off. Shit happened to me. It happened with my father's family. I had to try to explain to my mother, who was not very welcoming to my realization. I told her, you didn't just take me from my father. You took me from a whole family of people who fucked with me. Because I remember all of them. And now, even though I've reconnected with my pops and all that, my relationship will never be with those people like what it could have been.
Could have been, exactly.
It will never be that. I don't have any support, and I don't have any reason to expect any support from those people. Because, and this is not a diss, hopefully nobody taking it the wrong, this is just the reality of what y'all do and the evil of it. You know what I'm saying? Because now,
the result.
I have 2 boys with them 2 women in the poly relationship. From the poly relationship, my family does not care about those boys because I'm not with those women anymore, and they see those boys as theirs.
As theirs.
So when I was going to court fighting for the little time that I bothered with that bullshit, her side was full of her friends and shit. Nobody cared.
My side had none.
I had no support. They didn't care.
And they be trying to act like that shit matters in court.
Yeah, and then the sad thing about everybody is they keep lying, acting like they care when really care requires some things. Love requires sacrifice, something you women haven't really understood. You know what I'm saying? You want niggas to sacrifice themselves again if somebody breaks in. You know, death is expensive, bitch. So even though you don't see me doing, what did I tell you was the whole saying a long time ago? I told you, they say a woman's work is never done, but a man's work might be his last one. That's how that saying, that's the fullness of that saying. Okay, so just because you see the lion sitting under the tree all day being lazy, and you see the lionesses out there hunting and shit, don't get it fucked up. When the fucking hyenas come through, threatening on some masculine shit, just threatening his territory. None of them bitches have to come tell him shit or talk to him or ask him shit. That nigga gonna get up, crack his neck. He been laying there all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get up and go handle business, and them bitches can come if they want or they don't have to. But he's going over there. Them male lions is going over there to get busy. And when they're done, if they survive, they're going to go back under that tree, wait for you to drag them a carcass and heal the fuck up. And if you don't fucking like that, so the metaphor is just because you don't see a nigga doing something all the fucking time, stop fucking playing yourself. He has value. Because if he has no value, you have no value. Especially if this is a nigga you've connected yourself to sexually or in a relationship of any depth where y'all are supposedly playing roles for each other. Yeah, bitch, you got a role to play.
Yep.
And you can figure out how it suits you the best. It can be financial if you want it. I don't care. Like, all these niggas in each other's relationship talk about if it's 50-50 and this and that. Like, listen, y'all better learn how to do what works for the 2 of you in a relationship, ladies. Because you have to actually care about the nigga that you're mating with if you want to be a mammal, bitch. Now, if you want to be a fucking insect your whole life, go ahead and keep playing the way y'all playing. And I promise you, I mean, you know, I don't promise you shit. How about that? Because y'all don't believe in nothing.
Agreed.
Yeah, y'all don't believe in nothing. I promise you this, you're not going to find happiness before you pass on this earth. It's always going to be fleeting. You get a high and a crushing low, just like any other drug, any other bullshit that's not really, you know, of the most high.
Right. I think that was a great point to goddamn, yeah, you know what I'm saying, landed on. Hopefully y'all motherfuckers listening, because we gave you receipts as we've been doing these last couple episodes. We've been pulling out receipts for y'all.
All right.
So
This is what's going down out there, and this is just, we pulling out the receipts, but also we just getting into, hopefully for those who care, maybe get some different angle to look at this shit by, unlock some of this shit, because a lot of this shit is witchcraft and brain lock, brainwashing, however you want to look at it, whether you see it scientifically or magically or spiritually. That's what it is. You dealing with demons, you dealing with brainwash, you dealing with witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? This is why people ain't able to see reality. So hopefully the things, because I know for a fact that certain things that I say have certain effects. Sometimes for people who got a little bit of light, it'll help it turn all the way on. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of shit, most of the shit we've been taught is a lie. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, help the brothers out. Cause listen, man, y'all niggas want shit to get better, man. It's like, yo, we gotta do the bare minimum at least. Like, show solidarity, support shit, niggas who's on the same wavelength, and let people know, like, no, we not fucking a minority. Like, we men. And this is the age. Like, listen, if we not gonna get up and fight, at least speak up.
come on now.
Say it like it is. Like, a lot of you niggas out here doing all this ducking, dodging, cheating, and carrying on. Like, it's time to tell these bitches what it is. No, you can't have that. No, you can't control me at all. That's what time it is.
Indeed.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you fucking with it, you know.
Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, and holla at us. Got something you want us to talk about? Something on your chest, right?
Yep. You got an idea, you got a principle or something you want Pops to flesh out, go ahead, hit us up in the comments, IG, DM, whatever, you know.
I had a couple people, every now and then jump in with a little encouragement. I had one nigga hate on me a little bit about that on the hip hop. I ain't even tell you, I don't think. Nigga from the West Coast was like, yo, he was like, yo, yeah, y'all did that, but we came up with this gangster shit, and what'd he say?
What the fuck he talking about?
Yeah, and all y'all got is that drill and trap shit right now. I'm like, well,
Wait,
I want.
on.
Yeah, that's what nigga said. It came off the West Coast. He was like on that. But I mean, at least he said, hey, y'all did that. But then he said what he said about what's going on now. I'm like, listen, brother, I wasn't trying to disrespect nobody. Like, if we was talking about gang culture, you'd have had the floor.
I would have gave it to you.
But we were talking about hip hop, and hip hop is New York, and hey, that's all I'm saying. That's me.
That's it.
That's my area of expertise, sir. But no disrespect. I appreciate anybody who just even felt inspired enough to throw some energy this way, positive or negative. Fuck it, y'all. One love, y'all.
One love. Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
So I think that'll do it. Yo, Father, Son, and the Trolley Ghost, y'all.
Trolling. We've been trolling, y'all. We've been on the troll.
Me on the troll, nigga.
We on the troll, not on the roll, on the troll.
Yeah, man, y'all. Peace, y'all.
Peace.